Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be tying something a little bit out of the norm for me, which is dry flies. We're actually going to be tying a stimulator, and I just finished a big order for Atlantic salmon patterns that went out, and I thought I'd change it up for a bit, and we'll be tying the stimulator. It's an attractor dry fly. Great thing about this is you can create your own stimulator just by using different colors hackles and different color of dubbing and thread. So we are using a curved dry fly hook number 12. It's not too long, even though the package does say long. It is not too long, I'll tell you that much. We are going to be tying using some hot orange 80 thread, and we're just going to start that right in the middle, scaring that down and winding it back. This is about the point, because of the curve of the hook, that I actually take out the hook, kind of invert it into the vise again and wind it back. Okay. For the tail, usually it's either elk or deer for the tail. I've tied a few, and I actually am using some squirrel tail in a nice kind of like rusty, we'll call it, brown. And we'll clip some of that off. And just pulling out some of these fibers here, ones that can get away on you. And you want it about the length of the hook shank, okay? And we'll tie it right about in there. And we'll secure that in there. A couple of good wraps. And then we'll take our hook back out and invert it back into our vise. Now we're going to be stopping our thread when we move it up about 3/4 of the way or so. So we can clip our deer hair where you think you're going to have it, and then secure the rest, or sorry, I said deer hair, squirrel tail, and secure that in there and around there. Don't worry too much about the slant off there where you cut it, because that's the great thing about using dubbing. You can cover all that. Now we are making a dubbing body. We are going to be wrapping it with some hackle from front to back, and some of this pattern sometimes calls for golden, or any color of wire to be tied in and then palmered forward, ribbed forward to secure the hackle. I'm not going to do that just because I don't want to add in any more weight, even though it is a small wire. So we're going to secure our thread, we are going to secure our hackle with our thread just like we would with a woolly bugger, okay? So we'll wind our thread all the way back. And now we're going to be using some, let's see here, we can use any color you want as far as the dubbing goes. And we're going to be using some gold ice dub. It is my #1 choice for dubbing mostly. And I'll secure that on there. And we'll start wrapping that forward. And again, when don't worry so much about your thread base unless you have to taper it. And even if you have to taper it, if you are using dubbing, that's the great part about it. You can do anything you want with dubbing. Fix any of your little, I wouldn't even call them mistakes, just like fix anything that you want there, okay? Maybe just a little bit more here. There we go. We want that a little bit thicker in the front there. Okay. And now we're going to be tying in, let's see here. Let's use some light brown dry fly hackle. We're going to tie that in the front there. Strip off the barbels off the ends. And we'll tie that in at the front there. And you can secure that pretty good forward because we have a lot of room this time. And now we'll take our thread just like we would with our woolly bugger and rib that back, and also secures the dubbing. Now grab some hackle pliers and we'll start wrapping our thread. I have not learned how to talk today. Back. As even as you want and as tight as you want. The gold will show through, do not worry. And now we'll take our thread and, oops, that guy's not cooperating. Oh, there we go. And secure that in there. And now, just like we would, like I said again, just like we would with our woolly buggers, okay, is wrapping and winding, wiggling the thread through. There we get to the front, and now we can cut off our excess here at the back. Okay, now we're going to tie in a wing. We can use different things. Again, we can use some deer or some elk. Okay, I'm actually going to stay with the squirrel. And we're going to get that ready. Okay. And again, I always say it, but less is more. Usually when you're fly tying. We want that about halfway back to the tail. Okay. And we'll use a little pinch wrap there and secure it, wrapping it forward. And we'll trim that off now. Secure that in. And you can build up your thread base there. And now we are going to be tying in some more hackle, and this time change it up. So now we are actually going to be using some grizzly. Let's go with grizzly today. Okay. You can use anything you want, to be honest with you. Okay. And we'll try to make that smaller than the hackle for the body. Okay. Getting it ready here. And we'll tie that in there. And again, you can wind it forward quite a bit and secure it in there. Sometimes when tying dry flies, we don't have that much room to secure our hackle in. And now we're going to dub the forward portion, if you want to call it the thorax or the abdomen, or I could just call it the head because that's where it's going. And you can change up the color of the dubbing. And I think we will. Let's use some black and green, more black than anything, in here. Okay. And we'll start winding that. And that's a great thing about these stimulators. You can just change up the colors. It's great. Leave yourself enough room to, of course, to have a little head there, and we want some color there too. Don't forget with the head. Okay, now grab your hackle pliers again, and we'll start our hackle, winding our hackle forward. That should be good right about there. And we'll secure that in, and don't worry if you trap some fiber or some hackle, pieces of hackle in there, some barbels. We'll clean that up. You can tie them off or just cut them. Now we can pull back if there's any excess there. We're going to pull back, and we're going to build ourselves a little bit of a head here. And that's great about using the hot orange, or you know, you can use red, pink, black, you name it. And a little whip finish here. You can use a 1/2 inch or whip finish. And if you do, as I'm about to do, secure or lock in some fibers, we can pull them out. No worries. Or you could just cut them. Sometimes I like to, if I have a chance to pull them out now, I will, before I really tighten down on the thread. And now, just a little bit of a cut. A little bit of head cement. Drop on top, drop on the bottom, and there you have it. There is my version of a stimulator with squirrel tail. I was about to say deer again because it's tied so much with deer and elk. But there you have it. And again, you can pull out some of that dubbing there if you'd like, and you know, whatever you feel is appropriate there, whatever you like the look of. And got this one little piece here of dubbing that didn't secure, and I just want to get rid of it. There you go. Okay, there's my little squirrel tail stimulator. Hope you enjoyed that, guys, and we'll see you next time.